p.m. Letters or comments from the board?
There are no communications to the board this month.
Okay, approval of the minutes for April 7th, 2009.
We don't have those?
Yes. Can you just hold on that? We'll find it in one meeting or one in another.
Okay.
You're faster than the computer, Fred. What do you say about that?
The April minutes is the last meeting.
That was a good one.
The April minutes?
Yes. These are those as well, and those as well.
Okay. Let us know when we're on, and I'll make that motion. We'll have to push Fred's refresh button,
Yeah.
right? Refresh the computer and refresh Fred.
Okay, well set.
We're back on. The approval of minutes for the board meeting held April 7th, 2009.
I'll make the motion.
Mary made the motion. Who seconded it? Roger seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Comments, presentations by citizens, agenda items. Staff reports.
It's been a fairly short period of time since our last board meeting, but there have been a couple of notable things I'll hit in my report. As far as the Ogdensburg International Airport, we're talking to several different clients right now regarding rental and transient hangar. Nothing definite at this time, but still pursuing it. We received notification of a $237,000 award for the visual guidance replacement system at the airport. As far as the Port of Ogdensburg, we're continuing to talk with both products clients and following up with state and federal officials regarding our Section 107 study needs for the port. That's the dredging. As far as the bridge, main office and Region 7 meetings with DOT to obtain federal funding, and also talked about a path forward with those folks as well. Internally, we've drafted a workplace violence protection policy with the New York State, in compliance with new New York State Department of Labor rules. And we're continuing to wrap up the Port Master Plan. We hope to have that before the Strategic Planning Committee here in the near future. Pursuing funding for the bridge rehab project, and continue to reach out to our federally and state elected officials for bridge funding. I'd be happy to entertain any questions that you have.
Any questions of Wade? We have none?
I have one question. Is there any open communication supporting from McHugh or Schumer?
Thank you.
Do we have any open communication?
We have dialogue with Senator Gillibrand's office, Senator Schumer's office, and also Congressman McHugh's office. So
We're all in speed.
got all our bases covered.
Thank you.
Chief Financial Officer, Mark.
The auditors are upstairs. They got here Monday morning. They'll be here through Thursday. Everything's going well right now. So nothing really new to report there other than it's in progress. We don't have any financial statements yet for March. I'm still working on the port with the auditors, getting a few last-minute grant receivables recorded and stuff. So I should have those, email them to everybody probably early next week. So we'll have those to look at before the auditors get here. I think every year we get them on the day of the meeting. So this year I'll send you guys a draft ahead of time so everybody can look them over. Last month we talked about the toll booth project and how we're going to get reimbursed for that. And it's a $3.6 million project, and how we're going to fund for that between paying. Steve found this out for me. This is Steve's work. That's a non-reimbursable grant. So the DOT's paying for everything. So we're not going to see a bill or anything. So everything goes right through them. So there's no worry about what we talked about last month about getting
money shifting back and forth.
No, or anything needed there. So the bridge traffic report I put in front of you, I hope, in the airport report. The bridge traffic's down again 12% this month compared with last year at the same time. That's about where we've been holding now for the past 9, 10, 11 months. And next week I have a meeting in Albany to discuss present the budget to our budget examiner reviewer.
Mark, I bet your ear before everyone else got here because I was asking about the engineering studies for the bridge. And I just thought maybe you want to tell everyone that you and I had talked about talking to the auditors to see how we could amortize those costs on our purposes of accounting.
Oh, yeah, the $389,000 we approved for GPI. I think what we'll do right now, that project is still in process, especially as of March 31st, it was about 20% done. I think we'll capitalize those and amortize them over either 5 years or 10 years, whatever Paul Forte tells them. They're basically good for a shelf life, as opposed to writing them off all in 1 year. And I'll talk to the auditors about that on Thursday when the partner shows up, see what his thoughts are. And if not, we'll just expense it next year, 09-10 year.
Be nice if we could spread it out, though.
Yeah.
Less of a hit on the financials.
Yeah.
And it would be, to be quite honest, it would be more reflective of exactly what it is.
Right.
It's a long-term
More.
expense
Yeah.
for long-term planning. Thank you, Mark.
Actually, conference on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Will you keep me posted on that?
I sure will, yep.
Do you want to attend?
Yes.
Yep, I don't know if it'd be, they usually try to get out of here before 4 o'clock, the last day they're here. They get a
Okay.
4-hour ride back, so it might be late afternoon, early afternoon.
Okay, that's fine with me.
So, I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Are you going down to Albany?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to go down. See what that is all about.
What's the date of that?
June 10th,
Oh, June
operating
10th,
budget.
the
It's under operating budget.
presentation.
Too many things going on that day.
Okay. Any other questions of Mark? Mr. Reish?
Developers had a real good meeting with Senator Gillibrand a week ago Sunday in Messina. Advocated for the importance of bridge rehabilitation, project funding, and dredging at the port. She said she'd have her staff help us identify possible funding sources for both projects and agreed to write a letter to the Corps of Engineers in regards to the dredging at the port. And
Now, do we normally get carbon copies of those? Do we normally see those letters that get written? Remember?
those are in
Yeah.
the packets there. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Identified and researched a new funding source called Tiger Funding, an acronym for Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery. Those are US DOT grants that are coming out in September. Potential funding source for the bridge has to have a significant impact on the state or the region, so it might be a potential funding source. We'll be looking into that more as time goes on. Did the follow-up for the WEA conference with all the prospects that we met, and hope to be quoting on one by the third quarter of this year. We've been meeting with the customer at the port. Steve can talk about looking at doing a value-added product. We have a new bulk commodity at the port that's before the board today. Continue to negotiate with potential project cargo for later this year in 2010. We got 2 replies from our defense contractors, targeted mailings. Both of them were good, responses. We'll just stay in touch with. They're not ready to do anything immediately, but they're definitely both looking into a U.S. location. Brian Norton and I from the county went to CANSEC earlier in the week. It's a good trade show. There were 3 different buildings in Lansdowne Park. A lot of defense contractors. We met with the existing tenants we have here in the park and talked with them, and also a prospect that we've been working with for some time that's looking to do something within the next 9 months or so. So it was well worth the effort. There's a new upstate regional blueprint fund that's out. It's a $120 million fund. Both public entities and private entities are eligible for funding through it. So we're looking into that as well, and we passed it on to all of our existing tenants and all of our prospects that we've been working with. And we've shown space to 3 firms over the last couple weeks and placed some ads in some area newspapers, and we'll be putting some in the Ottawa Citizen shortly.
I understand what's in here.
Yep.
Do we normally get, when Gillibrand sends out her letter, do we normally get carbon copied on those? Do we normally
When
get,
we send a letter to
no, when she sends a letter out advocating on our behalf, do we normally receive a carbon copy? Yeah, but that's not what I asked. Do we normally do it? When an elected official writes and advocates on our behalf, is that a normal courtesy or form that they do, that they send us a copy? Okay.
Sure.
Good. Because at least we can keep on top of how long it takes to have happen and, right? Some sort of a timeline, that's what I'm looking for, some sort of a timeline. Okay.
Any other questions? That's your report? Steve?
Just a couple things, probably the main one that I'm pleased with is, we talked about spending the $389,000. Freeman Peterson submitted the plan spec and project cost estimate on Friday to the DOT, and they've sent us a copy. I have a copy of the completed. So basically, we could now say, and should wait, or anybody, we have everything we need to show anybody with that, so we are shovel ready as far as the additional work on the bridge there. We have those copies, so that's all been submitted, and they met that is right on their timeline for all of the programs and things. We submitted that on time to them. The other thing, just regarding road salt, a lot of the salt contracts are being bid with municipalities in the state. We don't know the results of that, but that'll dictate probably what we see. But it seems that all three companies are indicating willingness to, they're looking for space. So, I can't promise anything, but I see a number of them have made inquiries about, for storage and stockpiling and things like that. So I think that looks pretty good. And I think the pricing is settled down. So once all those contracts come out, I think we'll know a little bit more by midsummer. That's about it.
How are we doing on our FAA airport inspection certification?
And that's scheduled for July.
Okay.
Maybe I read that.
Nope, you did, you said
No.
complete, but I was wondering if that meant they're in process and they found anything.
And we've got kind of like our list
Check
of
sheet?
things that we need to make
Got it.
sure we've got in order. So
Okay, so we're ready for that.
We'll be pretty busy with that, yes.
Steve, at the airport, when you drive by where the terminal was, there's still some pieces of concrete sticking up there. What's the plan for that?
That'll all be eliminated in when we reconfigure everything. That's part of that project. That'll all come out of there and be turned into, that's just going to be grassed area right there. It'll look a lot prettier there come fall anyway.
Good, thanks.
Yeah.
Steve, were you able to fix the things that they found at our last inspection? I think there were some lights out. Are all those done, or?
You mean with the FAA? Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, we have to address those immediately, and anything that's beyond our control.
Or weren't there like red flags, yellow flags, things that had to be done, things that should be done, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all being done for the July inspection?
Some of those, Mary, are funding. If you look at them, they're based on funding. We kind of put them into the mix with CNX, so that some of those are beyond what we can finance.
But
they make recommendations, and that helps us when we're looking for funding from the FAA.
Good.
Steve or Wade, whatever, can you have an idea of the timeline on the bridge repair, when it starts, whatever? Are you getting any indication, late summer, fall?
I think, Wade, I think really what it is, it's how all this settles out. Should we find funding for this?
We've got $20 million for the main suspension span portion. Anything beyond that, there's nothing identified at this point.
No, I mean, what's the timeline you're getting?
Well, yeah, if no other funding comes forward and we decide we'll go with the initial project.
So we haven't closed the whole process for soul searching, so.
Yeah, like Wade said, there's nothing out there, but we're able to just go a little bit longer and then come through where we could, for whatever reason, the funding would have come through or something like that. We could do the whole thing, but as it is right now, there's nothing there.
Is DOT or the federal government making any recommendation at this point in time, or is it just a matter of just seeing how all these grants and things are working out?
I would think that's fair to say, just what you said at the end there, that rather than just go with that initial project, we have enough time where, like say through the summer maybe, we'll just see how everything shakes out. But we've submitted the project that we paid for to the DOT, and they have it, so I can't speak for them. I don't know,
So it's not our intent to spend the 20 until we find out we don't have the rest to do the whole project. Is that about right?
Yeah, that would be fair to say.
Okay.
That's fair to say. We also want to continue to position ourselves right now as well for any potential turnback dollars. dollars that may be obligated now through the stimulus that may not be able to be spent. And I think I'm glad you brought that up. In your packet, in the board packet as well that went out, there's a commitment, or not a commitment, but there's a letter that shows from DOT indicating we do have the $20 million. There's also a letter in there indicating that we were not successful in the ERA funding.
See, that left me a little strange because it's saying to me that, you want to say this the right way, I'm on camera, hello, is we had the money, you don't have the money, now you got your money back, whatever, so now the process is it going to continue on, are they going to look at us again, or they close the door for the 20 million? I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is the door closed from DOT on what they're going to do next?
No, DOT has indicated that the $20 million is still there. We're reaching out to Senator Schumer, Senator Gillibrand, and also Congressman McHugh's office to try and get some additional funds there. The results of that are still to be determined.
Well, looking at the local area, kind of got left out.
Yes, that's a
So
fair assessment.
Yeah, so the economic stimulus for this North Country wasn't really,
Well, if you listen to some of the, and I'm being facetious, some of the comments, they don't have any problem with us driving downstate to go get those jobs, remember?
right,
That's the way they think they're stimulating us, is our people will actually get in their cars and drive down and do construction work in the city. So they see it as stimulating us by having us go to these projects.
well, I won't say where I was, but I came back from Boston through the thruway areas, whatever, and I saw some of the bridges that are really suspect, whatever. So obviously there are other areas, they're saying that they're really inspecting them in the way that, and I'm not saying maybe ours is not as serious as some of those other ones, but some of them they look very good from my layman's eyes, where it may be, but I mean, so maybe obviously it's a sincere approach on their part.
But I think Paul Forte also said that our bridge, as opposed to other bridges who just didn't spend the money or take the time to repaint, theirs look really, really bad, where we've taken care of ours and painted ours, so
Yeah.
ours looks good.
Right, yeah, and I think you're right. In the eyes with a cover of paint, you paint your house and the clapboards that are rotten, so it's just a matter of, whatever. I mean, is our bridge safe? Yes, it's safe, but it's not the degree of safety that we need it to be at to handle the traffic and things that we need to do, so. Well, I guess I'd recommend everybody, I'd say compliment everybody how hard you work on this process to do all the things that you need to do to try to reach out to get that extra money, and not say we're just going to lay back and say we're going to fall down here. We're going to go after it and continue to go after it, and I think everybody here in this board, whatever, would say continue on the good work of pursuing that.
Thank you. Obviously, we're disappointed. We pulled out all the stops to try and make this happen, but it's not the last round.
Well, it's not the bark, it's the foot in the dog. And also, I think we're still going to continue after it and show people that we are. So, well, it means a lot to our area, more than people realize. As you see this past week, the bridge being closed down in Messina for their terminal situation they have there, and you say, okay, what happens to, if this bridge was knocked out, what would happen? Where would people go and do, and how would they do things? It would have great implications here.
One of the things that Steve had talked about when it comes to this money now, we're in a different ballgame in some of it, because we're looking for our congressmen and our senators and our state officials to earmark money directly to the Bridge and Port Authority. And DOT says if they do that, the money comes directly here. So it's not going to go into a hopper
General fund.
where they can move money around. And so that's a plus for us, and our senators and congressmen all know that, along with our state elected officials. Now, prior to Mr. McHugh getting appointed today, a couple of weeks ago, he's put us in for a high priority project request. So he's put us in a pool down there where this money is, and hopefully the $75 million that he put us in for, along with Schumer and the new Senator Gillibrand, that maybe somebody, some way, can earmark that money if they can get it to us. Because we're shovel ready. As I say, we're shovel ready. And we've got the proof of that. It's here. If anybody wants to look at it, come look at it. So if anything, I don't know why the North Country has not been directed from the stimulus money to this project. It's a creation of 2,000 jobs over 3 years. For the next 100 years, we have a bridge going to the capital in Ottawa and the capital in New York State. How can you go wrong on this project? And I mean, I don't make it any clearer than that, Governor Patterson, if he's listening or if he hears about it, we need his help. We have a shovel-ready project here. In the creation of 2,000 jobs in St. Lawrence County, that's running 13 or 14%, with the closing of General Motors, with the shutdown of East Alcoa plant, all of them, we got all the people here to do this project. Why not put them to work? That's what I don't understand about this whole thing. And shame on all the politicians that they're playing political games with this, because it ain't right. And I say that in very nice terms, I hope. But that's my position. And we need help from both sides of the aisle here, folks. We know how the deals work. So, one thing we've accomplished, we've made it known that we're shovel-ready. We know that they can direct the money directly to us through DOT. So we're not bypassing DOT. They're still our partners. But now, the DOT, I think his name is it Gear?
Acting Commissioner Stanley G.
Stanley G has told us that. He told us to go get the money and get it directly to us. You'll get it. If we get an earmark for the Bridge and Port Authority, you got the money. So there's no reason why we can't have this when we're shovel-ready. But here we are going to have to wait the next year, or maybe the year after, to find out if somebody in some other state didn't qualify, so now maybe we can give the Bridge and Port Authority when we need a new deck put on our bridge. And the more we wait, the $75 million is growing. Remember that. It is jumping in leaps. So, I just wanted to make that clear to everybody, and I want to thank staff for all their work on that. I guess there's nothing else. We'll go to the committee reports. Facility Committee, Mary, you are up.
Facilities Committee met today at 3:30. We have 2 items in your board packet, one with the contract with Wendell DeSchurer for security at the port. It's been recommended to be presented to the full board tonight. Also, at the airport, we have a contract with CNS Engineers. That likewise has come before the Facilities Committee. It's important to note that the bid came in less than the proposed $121,000 that their engineer thought it would be, and that the fees for our engineering services are at $10,000. And the committee recommends that the board approve that agenda item as well. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Finance Committee?
I reviewed various invoices before the meeting today with Pat Hill. Usually I have a number of questions, sometimes names I don't recognize, and other things that piqued my interest. And selected, I think, 8 items today, reviewed those with her and found all to be in order and well explained. So I'm very satisfied with it.
Okay. Any questions? Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business?
There's none.
Events and activities. July meeting. July 7th, okay with everybody, I guess it is. And business items.
Got a fairly light agenda tonight. First item up is approval of the supplemental agreement with Dan Dodge. This expires June 30th, 2009. This is for 170 square feet at $10.89 per square foot. Term is July 1, 2009 through June 30th, 2010.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So ordered.
Second item before you tonight is UniFirst Holdings agreement. This is a fairly minor agreement, but as it is for a term of 5 years, I felt it was appropriate to bring it before the board. Section 4 of the CSEA agreement requires, as you see there, that uniforms be provided by the authority. UniFirst Holding would be that uniform provider. Uniforms, 11 employees, annual charge $5,300. Key term of this agreement is 5 years.
And this is something we haven't done before, is that correct?
We're mandated to do it. We've just always done it. But when you look at our procurement policy, by our own procurement policy, it should be before the board.
Due to the length of time?
Yeah, it doesn't like the time. Same company that's providing them right now.
Have we checked to see if anybody else is, I know there's other uniform services, do we oftentimes go out to bid or?
They usually looked around, try to find some better places to go, and they found some different garments to wear that they're wearing right now, kind of an upgrade. So they're happy with UniFirst.
And those go out and get laundered and come back in on a weekly
Yes,
basis?
they come and go weekly. Right now, we're paying $93 a week. We're going to go to $102 a week, but that's the addition of one more person. Terry Bunn is yet to be put on there. He's the new union. So I used to be not part of the union, so now we're going to have 11 as opposed to 10.
Who did
So
it?
this is just not toll collectors, it's other,
The maintenance staff.
This is maintenance staff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would the toll collector people come into, what does it contractually say for them?
We normally buy them something out of LLB or Land's End periodically.
The shirts with a logo on
Shirts
them?
with logos, OBPA logos.
Okay, so we haven't really enforced them wearing them or anything like that?
No.
Is it something we should consider or like to do?
We can.
Yeah,
We'll get to that later.
yeah, okay. Well, we'll talk about that. Thanks, Mark.
And then the 93 to 102 includes the extra employee?
Yes, include extra employees.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mary, seconded by Don. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item B1 is approval of a handling and storage agreement with New York and Ogdensburg Railway. You've seen this before. This is for citrus pulp. The term of the agreement, July 1, 2009 through June 30th, 2010. And you see the corresponding rates there.
There's nothing in here for, and we've done this before, I think, for salt or other products, that if anything's left behind. Is there a need to do that for this sort of a handling?
There has not been on this product. This product is...
Comes and goes.
Do you have a motion?
I make that motion.
Roger made the motion, do we have a second? Second by Sam, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Item B2, the Port of Ogdensburg is an approval of agreement with Wendell DeShare. This is the Maritime Marine Terminal Security Project. You recall this was a proposal to provide consulting services for the Port of Ogdensburg. Total dollar amount was $35,600. There was a question raised at the last board meeting regarding the breakdown of the $35,600. That was discussed and resolved today at the Facilities Committee meeting.
I make a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Item C1 is approval of a transfer and storage agreements. There are 3 of them, one for Steve Belgard, one for Mr. Keith Weston, and one for Mr. Frederick Proven for hangar space at the Ogdensburg International Airport. All these agreements have in common the term July 1, 2009 through June 30th, 2010. The rate is $185 per month.
Make that motion.
Roger made the motion, do we have a second? Don?
Second.
All in favor?
Next item, agenda C2 has a correction in the resolution section I'd like to bring to your attention. Should read $10,000, not $100,000 on the last line in the resolution section.
They would like that. I want that job.
As you pointed out, zeros are indeed important.
Yeah.
This is an approval of agreement with CNS Engineers. This is the application that we filled out in July 2008. We applied for funding $100,000 for the installation of bifold doors on the passenger terminal facility. In the agreement, CNS engineering fees were $10,000, $4,600 payable up front, and the remainder funded if the project was funded. The project has been funded, therefore the remaining $5,400 balance.
So, let me ask this question. Did you have something?
Do we have a resolution to say that?
Yes, it does actually. The last sentence, first paragraph, $10,000 was included for engineering services associated with this project, $4,600 payable in advance at application, and the remaining $5,400.
In the resolution section, I'm saying? Does it have to be in the resolution section? I'm just wondering. For accounting purposes, am I missing something?
What are you saying, what's in the report and what's in the resolution?
I'm asking if in the resolution, we should actually state that of the $10,000 fee, $5,400 remains to be paid. I'm just asking, because I'm wondering if we've already appropriated the $4,600 that we paid, would this then give someone the impression that it's $4,600 plus $10,000?
We'll do that.
It could. It could.
Excellent point.
Now, my question is, where did the $4,600 come from, the upfront money?
The upfront money authorized under my own authority as executive.
But where did it come from? What fund did it, Mark, did it come out of?
I believe it just came out of the regular.
So we got that money coming back, right?
No, that's our money that we spent.
These were OBPA funds.
It's our funds.
There's no grant money here?
No. There's a $100,000 grant, and there is a $10,000 bill due to CNS as a result.
Was the grant $121,000?
Originally the project was $121,000.
Was the grant, is there any grant money here?
$100,000 total grant money. And the project is about $105,000 for the contractor plus $10,000.
So it's $115,000 then. So we're paying $10,000, the authority is.
15.
10 plus 5.
10 plus the 5 for the contractor.
So the authority's got $15,000 in this?
Yeah.
Of our money?
That's not correct.
No.
The total on this, the total project, as it was originally funded, there was a. No, let me go right to the end. As it stands right now, everything all in, including CNS fees, the total bill on this project is $105,000. I think it's $105,000.
Includes the CNS?
That includes the CNS charges.
All right.
What we have for funding on this project, we have funding amounts of up to $100,000 from DASNY, and the balance will be kicked in by OBPA.
Is that the $100,000 we got from sitting there all the time?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got $100,000, so the authority is into this project for $10,000.
Five.
At the end of the day.
$5,400.
The bid came in significantly lower than expected. So as a result, where the whole project originally was expected to cost $121,000, the whole project, everything all in, now only costs $105,000.
And that includes CNS $10,000 engineering costs. So if we got a grant for $100,000, we have $5,000 we're responsible for.
It sounds like we already paid $4,600.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm trying to get clear on that. It looks like we put up $4,600 right off the bat. And then we turned around and had a balance of $5,400 we owed them. Because in actuality, the whole price was $10,000 for the engineering study, or whatever they did.
Right, but it sounds like $5,000 is going to come out of the grant, and $400 more is going to come out of our pocket.
I'm just trying to...
It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
This was not our...
That's why we have your accountants around. Motion was made on that, right, Mary?
No, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roger, get that down. That'll be something for you to study this week.
Yeah. Item D1 is FedEx Trade Networks lease. This is for 6,436 square feet in a fourth industrial building for a 3-year term at the rate you see in front of you. Commencing on June 1st. Also included in this agreement is a proof of appropriate insurance naming OBPA as the additional insured.
I make a motion to accept it.
I'll make that motion.
Second? Or no, you made a motion.
That's fine.
Roger seconded it.
All in favor?
John, just a real quick question. I haven't had a chance to talk to you before the board meeting. Did Verizon get back to us? For E1?
They do need the renewal, yes.
Okay. Item E1, other such matters, approval of an easement with Verizon. This is for a Verizon easement in the village of Norwood, which expires June 30th, 2009. The lease agreement is 5 years commencing July 1 for a total fee of $22.50.
Well, we made back our money anyways. Okay. Have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Second. Sam, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Prohibit.
Item E2, under such other matters, is a handling and storage agreement with Green Energy Resources. This is a firm that is trying to put together a deal on wood chips. Specifically, this is for handling and storage of that product. Term of the agreement, June 3rd through December 31st, 2009. At the corresponding ship charges and port charges that you see in items A and B.
Is this being trucked out?
This will more than likely go out by ship.
It's being trucked in and going out by ship, is that
Trucked in
correct?
and going out by ship, yes.
This is at Chatham, is it?
No.
I'll make the motion.
Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Yeah. Bring that nightmare back.
Mary, I need you to go, you won't know it.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna put
Not
that
for
on.
road trips or anything else.
No, no reminder.
We get got rocks on it.
Item E3, under such other matters as may come before the board, this is a request for approval of support for the 4-lane highway in St. Lawrence County. I'd just like to read the first part of the report to kind of give you a flavor. Some long-standing board members, I'm sure, will remember this. The Bridge and Port Authority under the late Danny Dupree, who was the executive director, adamantly supported the need for improving North Country transportation and the concept of a 4-lane highway here in St. Lawrence County. However, due to the passage of time and transfers of files, much of the history of this support has been lost. After an exhaustive search of the remaining authority files, we've determined that despite the prior board support, the Bridge and Port Authority did not have a formal resolution of support on file for the 4-lane highway, the concept of the 4-lane highway in St. Lawrence County. So as a result, we wanted to put this before the board today so we could continue to move forward on this topic.
And is this something you spoke with the Commissioner of Transportation with when you were in Albany, or this just comes as a result of kind of housekeeping?
This is more or less a housekeeping issue. We are in the process of trying to track down the original authority files on this.
We believe there with Jim helping, and we're trying to find it since Jim's retired. He had most of the files. He did most of the secretarial work for the committee at that time. So.
Is he a board member?
No, he was a secretary for the highway corridor group.
Okay.
That Ernie LeBaff and Chuck Kelly at that time headed that committee up, and there's been so many changes over the years and studies over the years that they've been putting all of the resolutions from all of the supports of all the towns and villages and the counties and all the people that's supporting this project. We're trying to put it back together and make sure that everybody has got the proper information.
And we do want the resolution then to say that we want to push forward the construction as opposed to an analysis of, or?
Right.
Because there is no construction yet. I mean, there's
We just want to, continue to support the project.
I'm concerned about that language, right? Push forward the construction, so to push forward the, the concept of, or, because really there's nothing to construct, and it.
This language comes from 3 sources. Number 1 is in the file we did have a City of Ogdensburg resolution that came about after this was discussed at the board level here at the Bridge and Port Authority. So that was used. In addition, language from the Citizens Coalition for Economic Infrastructure Development was adapted here, and the third input was our editing here. So those are the three source documents.
I'm uncomfortable with the way it's written. I don't know if I can vote for it tonight. Because it says can push forward the construction, we don't have a plan in place, and it also doesn't actually say where we think the road should be. Or, you know what I'm saying? It says the resolution says to push forward the construction, and if they construct it around Fort Drum and run it over to the Northway, that's not what we want. You know what I'm saying? I'm very concerned that this language isn't what we want to.
What do you want to change it? That's what we're here for. We'll change it.
No, we can't, I mean, no offense, you put me on the spot right now, but to me...
Are you talking about the construction for the four-lane highway? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, we can change it to the Northern Tier Expressway.
But that's my point. My point is, nobody has determined where it's going to be.
Yes, sir.
The construction of, it's not identified in here, and there is no construction of. It's more or less that we support that there be a
We have adopted the Route 11 corridor that Wilbur Smith.
It's not in here. That's not in here. That's not in here. Go ahead and vote on it, but I just don't want you to be surprised when I abstain or can't vote in favor of it, because to me it's just, it's eyewash. I mean, there really isn't.
Mary, you don't feel that the construction of a four-lane highway within the boundaries of St. Lawrence County?
That's not the resolution, that's the report.
Okay. Well, I see what
To
you're...
push forward the construction of a four-lane highway within St. Lawrence County. Yeah, well, it could go from one side, yeah, it can go from one side of, Antwerp in Fort Drum over to, I-87 or, we did do a study many years ago, I don't know if it's still up to date or accurate, but to me, it should say something like, we're in support of the study by blah, 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 blah. So that they know where we think where we would support this four-lane highway to go.
Well, we're going to support the resolutions that's been passed as the Wilbur Smith corridor, which is Route 11 corridor. That's the route that we're going to take. Whatever he's drew in those maps and everything has been adopted by everybody. We're the last...
As drawn on the maps of, or
It's
the studies of, do you know what I'm saying? I really think
the Wilbur Smith study is the Route 11 corridor.
What was the city's resolution?
I've got that.
How was that worded?
I don't recall specifically. It was very brief. This was a resolution.
Okay, so it was just a matter of...
Time frame, I think.
So what they really did was approving the theme of the idea of having a four-lane highway, not the specifics of where, when, why, and all that type of thing. Obviously, it's the theme of we need this economic stimulus package of a road going through, four-lane highway going through St. Lawrence County.
I would feel better if it said to service or that would be supported by the bridge. We need to tie ourselves into this somehow.
Well, we are tied into the road.
That's not what the resolution says. It just says...
Why don't you add something like, push forward the concept and construction of a four-lane highway from Interstate 81
to 87,
following the Route 11 corridor to Interstate 87, with spurs at...
Fine, but we need to say that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The girls are taking this down. You want it? We couldn't
sit here and not say that, because that's what we're here for. I mean, obviously,
that's right. We have a purpose.
We have that to tie into this bridge. I mean, obviously, that's the function of this bridge too.
And I think you do. If you're going to tie in the bridge, I think we should the other spots too, though, like Messina. And
it's all in there.
It's all.
I mean, the specific part is really we to have a four-lane highway and support it, and it doesn't come here.
Yes.
And we have no contact with
As
it.
long as it's in St. Lawrence County, we support it. That's what it looks like. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, we have a purpose here, a mission, and that is to support our own bridge.
So you don't have to change a couple sentences at the end to make it work.
Yeah. Well, I think the spur part that attaches to this bridge is, for this board,
If number resolved, you get in.
John is recommending, be it further resolved that the OBPA supports the proposed Route 11 corridor with a spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge.
Yeah, I guess it's up to Messina to do their own thing for their bridge.
They've already passed there. There's 3 spurs.
Here?
Messina, And Louisville.
From Route 81 to Route
Marlboro,
87
no.
with a spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott Bridge.
Do you want to say Route 81 to Route 87? Is that along the lines of the Wilbur Smith study?
You know? And they got in this year, the money that they're looking for, John McHugh put them in for. He's calling it the Northern Tier Expressway, and he put in for $75 million for plans and design and engineering to construct the Northern Tier Expressway. That's what he's calling it in his resolution that he put in for the $75 million.
And I think that's fine, but I think as far as, to alleviate Mary's concern is, in Sam too, is to tie it into the general area. We know it's gonna go, at least in our state, 81, 87. I don't think Vermont wants on board, but, whatever. And with the 3 spurs.
Or at least the spur to service us.
Yeah, they are concerned. From 81, following Route 11 corridor to 87 with a spur specifically to the Ogdensburg.
And that's all in the Wilbur Smith report. And the spurs go, like I said, to Lawville, to the bridge in Messina.
No offense, Fred, that's not in here though, that's the problem. It doesn't even say that.
Well, Sam, you've been at the meeting, so I thought maybe, you might remember what some of what it said.
No, but what's said and what our resolution says, we've got to really make sure that it passes.
No, we'll word it the proper way, we got time.
Do we read it back to us so we know what it says? I'm sorry, Patty.
Yeah,
And be it further
and be it
resolved.
further resolved, that we go from Route 81 to Route 87 with a spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge.
Follow Route 11.
That the OBPA supports the proposed
Along
Route
Route 11
11
corridor. Because everybody's pushing the corridor.
Okay, that the OBPA supports the Route 11.
The concept and construction of a 4-lane highway from, is it US Highway 81? I-81, following the Route 11 corridor with a spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott Bridge
Following.
to I-87. It may be another report, but that's the same thing. This says it for this particular resolution.
What we are supporting as the board of OBPA.
We're supporting 2 things, the road and the spur. Which we're more concerned with the spur, we need the road too.
We need the road to have a spur.
I want the spur, we've already got a road, I know where.
That's our spur.
Okay, so further resolved that the OBPA supports the concept and construction of a 4-lane highway from I-81 following the Route 11 corridor with a spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge to Route 87.
To I-87.
To I-87.
Sounds like the spur goes to 87 all the way through.
According to the
Spur to the Ogdensburg Bridge.
Wilbur, say Route 11 from 81 to 87.
They're calling it
The spur to the Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge.
Per the Wilbur Smith
Right. Report.
report.
Do you have a year? Do you have a year? Like of 19...
And they're calling it here the Northern Tier Expressway.
Referred to as the
Also referred to as the Northern Tier Expressway, right?
That should cover it.
How could you word, I'm just thinking online, and Mary and Tony, whatever it is, how can you word it in a way that the spur is actually a component or part of that project that cannot be added to it, to be automatically included in it? You see what I'm saying? In other words, if you built the Northern Expressway, then all of a sudden it's built, then all of a sudden somebody says, whoops, there's no money left to build the spur.
That could be.
Well, I'm just saying,
All we can do is...
well, what I'm just saying is,
We're supporting it if.
Can't tie the spurs in, see? Can't tie them.
well, that's the question.
Well, you can tie the spurs in afterwards, so it'll be done. We might build our own road.
But we're supporting it without a spur.
Right.
That's the best we can do.
Right. But it's definitely going to be in there. Now, where we get the money, maybe there'll be no money. We might come up with the money.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is when you have this type of project, I mean, to me, I'm saying, okay, do they build, I don't know. I don't know enough about how they're going to build it. I've seen highways built like this. They build one section here, one section here, one section here. And they go back and then they tie pieces back together. And then,
They built the expressway, that's 17, that's history. 17 was a prime example of how they did that, and now they've turned it into an interstate. But over the years, they built the expressways around Corning, Horseheads, Binghamton, and et cetera, and et cetera. Now, all of a sudden, they decided to lock it in and make it an interstate road. And At one time, I told you, they wanted to make it a toll road. All the way to Buffalo.
I mean, what would happen if all of a sudden they built a spur and they took care of Messina first and we don't have a spur?
I guess we'll have to be on top of what's going on.
I'm just saying.
But that's why our support is with that split us.
You bet. Automatic, that's it.
That's what our support is. We're supporting that. Okay. Patty, you feel comfortable with that? Needs for anything else?
No,
Okay.
need a motion.
I'll make a motion, as read,
As amended?
as amended as you read.
You second it, Mary?
I will second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. See, I told you we could get it done. I have confidence in my board members.
And they turned down their last number of votes.
First and the last.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
I think we got, let me go through this stuff now.
And all they were worried about.
Okay, I got, such other matters come before the board, I'd just like to announce that we'll make a couple appointments changes here for some of our new board members.
So can you hold off on that for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah, we may take a look at that.
We're gonna ask Ramona to be temporary for now, though. Can you fill that seat?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I need a motion to appoint Mona
Indoctrination by fire.
to chairman of that committee.
No, that's chairman. She's gonna be temporary secretary, right?
Right.
I'll make the motion gladly. Sorry, Ramona. You'll learn a lot this way, though.
Do a second one.
So, what all we have in favor?
Temporary secretary. We need to change the bylaws at some point in time, but it doesn't make any sense to change the bylaws for a situation like this until we have a full board. So for now, you'll be temporary secretary.
Do we ever have one?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that. Don seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
No.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, comments from citizens, board members, or authorized authority staff. Anything?
It's much different on
We have a brief need for executive session regarding.
Okay, we'll need a motion to go into executive session. Roger made it, Sam seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any actions taken out of the executive session, staff will be notified.
Why for executive session?
Contract negotiations council.
Stretch. Down?
Which council did you say? What council?
Good council.
Yes.
With Frank.
Yeah, we don't want to let him out.
Well, it's time to get his car back anytime too soon.
Land record.
When I took over his job, and he's on it.